Hey Alex,
Hi.
how have you been doing since the last time we met?
I've been hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so. Since the last time we met, I have been able to go back to my house and
Okay.
see the damage that had been done.
Mm-hmm.
Since the hurricane.
Yeah.
I know, the last time we met, I hadn't been able to go back to my house yet, and so there was a lot of anxiety about that anticipation of seeing the damage. But I was able to go back,
Okay.
and there was just a ton of damage,
Mm-hmm.
much more than I had expected.
Yeah. So bring me back to that day. What was it like to see all of that?
It was just absolutely devastating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was expecting there to be great damage, I did take some, preparation, and I was able to put some things away. But it was just it's just so devastating to feel like so many of my belongings are just gone. It's I'm feeling such a great sense of loss.
Yeah.
A much greater sense of loss than I ever had anticipated. And it's more than just material things, it's memories and my house just isn't livable. So it's a really it's just a great sense of loss. It's a ton of anxiety.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're really starting to even move through the grieving process of coming face to face with this and accepting all the realities of what's been going on.
Yeah, it's becoming much more real now, having seen the damage done.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to comprehend now that this is my reality. I'm essentially homeless. So it's just a great deal of stress.
Yeah. And what does it mean for you to feel like you're homeless? Does it come along with any other emotions?
I mean, it's just I feel so helpless, and I feel helpless, and I just feel I feel like a burden to other people because I'm still living with my brother.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel bad for me. But I just, it's not a good feeling. It's just completely uprooting, and I'm just disoriented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there must be just so much change going on and unpredictability.
Mm-hmm.
Probably hard to deal with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really having a hard time controlling any of my emotions, and I feel like I have no sense of control over any of my day-to-day emotions or reactions to this entire situation.
Yeah. So sounds like it's bringing up a lot of anxiety for you. Is this affecting you on a day-to-day basis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't sleep. I'm still sleeping on my brother's couch.
Yeah.
I can't sleep. I'm not eating as much, because I'm just so stressed out. I just I have this constant pit in my stomach over this, and just always thinking ahead, what am I gonna do? I'm so out of touch with the present moment, my mind is just always thinking how am I gonna rebuild my house? How am I gonna rebuild my life? You know what I mean? So it's affecting every single day. It's affecting my functioning every single day.
Yeah, and with all of that going on in your mind, it must be hard to feel as though you're maintaining a sense of control.
Yeah, I feel absolutely no sense of control. And it's hard because it's I can't predict the weather, exactly. It's a natural disaster, and it's hard. I know I can only control my emotions and my reactions, but it comes along with a great deal of frustration to not have this control over what's been done.
I think that is completely normal, especially in light of it's a huge natural disaster that's very unpredictable. A lot of people would probably feel the same way, that they couldn't maintain some control in these scenarios. I think that what would be good for us to look at is, your response to all of this stress. What is your usual response when you, come face to face with a stressful scenario? Can you think of any one in particular?
I mean, I feel like just in general, I mean, obviously I've never dealt with a disaster of this, like, severity before, but, like, in general, when I get, like, really stressed, I just, like, avoid the stressor as much as I can.
Yeah.
You know, and I just, I don't like to, like, face it head on, you know, and I know that, like, I need to take action, but I'm having, like, a really hard time doing that. I just want to, like, avoid the problem, like, forget that this happened. I just want to put it out of my mind.
Yeah. And maybe now that this is happening and you're seeing it, you know, firsthand, all of the destruction that happened to your house, it's hard to avoid that.
It's all around me. And that's, like, it's a part of the reason why it's all consuming. You know, it's like everywhere I look, there's destruction, you know, and it's just all consuming.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's a good, you know, jumping off point to realize that, you know, maybe you can't avoid this, and we could maybe come up with a plan to start from there, to, you know, face your stressful scenarios in a way that doesn't feel like it's, you know, consuming you.
Yeah, definitely. I know, like, I definitely want to work on that and change that, because this is, like, inescapable. You know, like, I know this isn't going away, and it's not something that's going to go away overnight.
Yeah.
So I need to change the way I'm dealing with this.
Yeah, well, that's an awesome outlook, definitely. And I think that, you know, when we have our minds so caught up in, you know, the future, it definitely brings us to a point where we get very anxious, and that is a very normal, you know, response. So I think bringing you more towards the present and keeping your mind in the present moment might be a more, you know, helpful coping strategy for you.
Yeah, I think generally too, like, in other stressful situations, like, I do have a hard time just being centered and, like, present and focusing on what's happening, like, in the now. And it's like, no wonder I can't do it in this type of situation as well. So that's definitely something that I could work on.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I want to bring you back to the point where you're talking about your lack of control, and just, like, explore that a little bit. So what does it mean to you to, like, feel as though you don't have any control over, you know, the present circumstances, or what was going on maybe during the hurricane?
I mean, it means I'm somebody that, like, I need to feel like I'm in control all the time, because then I can, like, predict the outcomes of my life. And so when I don't have that sense of control, it's just absolutely awful. You know, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel so disoriented. It's an awful feeling to not be in control. Like, I don't know how to deal with life when I'm not in control. I'm not in the driver's seat, you know. And even though I can, like, tell myself that, like, I'm not in control of the weather, you know, like, it's something that I have to deal with.
I think that, you know, maybe something that we can focus on would be, you know, you can't really control what's going to happen, whether there's going to be a hurricane and stuff like that, but you can control how you're going to react to, you know, the hard times in life and what's going to happen. And, like, by figuring out, you know, a good way to do that, then maybe it could make you feel like you have more of a sense of control in your life. Yeah, I would give you that back.
I would definitely like that. I definitely need that. Like, I feel just, like, totally like a victim right now, and I need to get past that. And I feel like in doing that, like, that requires, like, giving up a sense of control.
Yeah. Are there any other emotions besides lack of control that, like, feed into the feeling that you're a victim?
I guess just, I feel so, I mean, along with, like, lack of control, it's just, like, that helplessness, you know? It's just, it's, like, complete helplessness. It's just, it's that, like, disorientation and feeling like, almost like I'm like a chicken with my head cut off, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know what to do with myself. And it's just so overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I can't function. And it's that like lack of functionality that's really getting to me.
Yeah. Have you been able to reach out to, I know you said that you were, active in your church. Mm-hmm. Have you been able to reach out to anyone in your church? Have they been going through anything similar?
Yeah, I have. I have been able to reach out to a few members, and it's nice, like, I know we all, like, live in the same area in town, so I know that they have experienced the same, like, severity, the same level of damage mm-hmm. that I have to, like, my home, so it's nice to, like, lean on each other, and feel like we're sharing the same experience, as, like, devastating as it is, and it's also nice to feel like, we were close before this disaster, but, I feel like we got closer. I feel like I gained, like, a sense of a group of friends because of this, so it's nice to have that support now.
Yeah. And, this is a very difficult time for you all to go through, but would you say that maybe that, closeness is something that is maybe a positive thing to come out of all of this? Mm-hmm. It might be hard to look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, when I first went back to my house and I was, like, looking at all the damage, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I thought to myself, nothing good could come of this. Like, there's no way. Like, I just lost my home. I lost, like, almost all of my belongings. Like, there's no way I'm going to come back from this, especially because I'm alone, Like, I just felt so alone, so helpless. But now to feel like, oh my gosh, there is, like, this little, like, glimmer of hope, in finding this little community, that I was friends with before, but now, like, I feel like we really are.
Yeah.
A strong, like, group of people. It's a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
So it stinks, but it's nice to know that something, I guess, good has come out of it.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm hearing is that you said before that with, like, being a victim felt, like, out of control and just helpless, but now with this new group of people, you feel like, you're surrounded by people who you can feel, together within this, and maybe they're helping you, a little bit through it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's, like, combating those feelings of being a victim.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm with them, I don't feel like a victim. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we're all, like, surviving this together, I feel like we're all going through the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. We're all, we can talk about it freely, and we understand each other's feelings, and we're all, like, surviving this together. So it's like an overwhelming feeling, but it's also really, I guess it's like a silver lining in all of it.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, especially for you to say, you're all surviving it. That's really what's important, is that you are all survivors, throughout this really tough time.
Yeah, I didn't think I would say that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that, moving forward, we can, just, like, figure out ways to manage your stress, and so that it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming you on a day-to-day basis. I definitely don't want it to interrupt your sleep. Mm-hmm. That's very important.
Yeah, I know. I need to, like, really pick up the pieces now, like, moving forward, put my life back together, and I know, like, a part of that is to kind of gain control of my stressors and the way I manage things. Mm-hmm. So,
well, thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Sounds good.